Good afternoon, everyone. It's 1 o'clock my time, so it's I think 3 o'clock Central, and 4 o'clock Eastern, I believe, is how that works. Okay, I have sound, so that's a good thing. Wait and see if anybody joins me. It's an odd day for me to be live, but I wanted to finish up this little mini journal we've been working on. There's Shannon. Hi, Regine. I was hoping you'd be here, Regine. I think you're following along, aren't you? All right. So everybody knows the drill, or if you're new here, I'm Victoria from Old to Ulala Art. If you'd like to be notified when I go live, exclamation point, notified, no space. Type that in the comments here and you'll get a notification when I go live. I'm always live on Tuesday, and then sometimes I just pop in randomly whenever the mood strikes. Okay, so we've been working on this Heritage Signatures mini album for, I think this is our third part, right? Give me a second, I want to put a link in where people can pick it up if they want it. Okay, there's a link to the printable collection. So I believe, if memory serves, in the first part we did all of, like, most of our tags and stuff. In the second part, we put together our actual signature pages. It's small. It's just a kind of a little one page book like this. We did fabric here, and then we used our beautiful Countryside Memoirs stamp on the front. We're going to do some more stamping on this. So Countryside Memoirs I've been using in a lot of my journaling. I'm making that big 12-month journal, and I've been using this a lot over there, and it's really good. It's smaller, you know, so you can use it for smaller areas. Like, look, I just happen to have it right here. Like, I used it here. I used the little, here, get you closer. I used the bow and the little sprigs, and then I used it here. I used it all along here. I actually took this big portion here, and I just kind of did this and taped it off and then turned it around and did the other side. So I got a nice long running, almost like a, what would you call that? Like a bow of flowers. So that turned out good. So let's see what we're gonna do here. And then I just did this morning. I only have 2 more pages to go and then I'm done. I did this morning. It turned out really pretty. It's been a tremendous amount of work. 12 months. I mean, it's been a lot of work. It's been fun. At this point, it kind of feels a little bit like homework. Like, I got to get it done. I got to get it done. Yeah. So beautiful. This is the journal course that I was doing with Denise from Crafty DIYer. All right, so let's concentrate on this. I gotta do something here, and I've not decided what yet. But I do know, a little bit closer, I do know that we have to, so I came on later thinking that there would be more people around, but evidently there's not. I can't figure out the whole time thing. I like 11 o'clock, but that doesn't work for most of you because it's like in the middle of the day. So I talked about 4 o'clock, and I didn't know if people realized I was talking about 4 o'clock your time or 4 o'clock my time. 4 o'clock my time, I'm probably not ever going to be able to do that because I get up so early, and by 4 o'clock my brain is mush. So that's probably never going to happen. Let's use this to back all of these. All of these don't have backs on them. Generally I print everything, you know, on the back, but I did not this time. So let's just glue all of these to this, which is beautiful. This is one of the pages that comes with, and I'm going to turn it this way, and we'll cut them out. How's that? Hi, Molly. So I'm just using my fabric tack. I'm just going to lay these on here like this, and then we'll cut them all out at once. Yeah, I don't think it matters which way it goes. So what I did when I printed out these signature pages is I cut them down because I didn't want a big, like a, you know, 8 by, what would it be, like 5 by 8 or something. I didn't want anything that big. I wanted just like a little kind of little pocket size. So this is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 by 5, and I like that. I like that size. It's easy to work on, and some beautiful images in that printable collection. So everybody's panicking over their, shoot, that's not gonna work, I'll do it this way, over their lives disappearing from their pages. You know, Facebook is going to take all the lives down on June 1st or June 30th, something like that. And a lot of people are moving their lives over to YouTube. It is a tremendous time investment. I mean, tremendous. I have hundreds of lives. So I'm probably not going to do that. Not probably. I'm not going to do that. I don't have the time nor the desire. What I am going to put over there is, and I already have these saved to my laptop. Any classes, any paid classes, and then any of the classes that I've offered with purchase. I have saved all of those as I've gone along. So those are not going to disappear. Or if they disappear, I can put them right back in because I have a download of it. So that's how that's going to work. Everybody says, you know, YouTube's like the wave of the future and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, yeah, that's great, but I don't have time for that. I don't have time to be on a bunch of different platforms and like this, and, you know, shipping and keeping up with social media just for Facebook is enough for me, and, you know, doing lives and stuff. So yeah, I'm just one person. Okay, so we've got those all glued on there, and then we can just cut them out. I use Facebook and YouTube, and they are very, yes, they are very different, Molly. And I don't know if you've done this. I'm sure you have. When you download you download your live from Facebook, and then you go over and you load it up to YouTube, and there's several steps. You got to find a nice thumbnail picture to put there, and it's a tremendous amount of work, especially if you're talking about hundreds of videos. I would have more. 2 years ago, my original page of 10,000 followers was disabled. Never did get it back. It's still there, but it's really unusable because you can't post any pictures to it. So it just kind of sits there mocking me. So I had to start a new page 2 years ago. And so those are the videos that I will, not videos, lives? Yeah, videos, I guess. Facebook is better for communicating with your piece of, yeah, right, Molly? I know that you can, I know that you can film live on YouTube. I've never done it. I don't know. I have a couple of paid classes over there that have been over there for like a couple of years. Um, and whenever somebody buys that class on my site, I send them the link to that private class. But yeah, I'm just, my husband's like, oh, do you really want all your lives to disappear? And it's like, well, I haven't looked at them in ages, so what do I care? Like I said, whenever I record classes for the class with purchase, as soon as I'm done with that, I always go download that right away to my computer, because I have had, like, you know, there's generally 2 or 3 parts to one of those classes, and I have had like parts just disappear out of nowhere. You never quite know what Facebook is going to do. So I just got in the habit of always downloading those right away. So all of those are already saved. I did get a message from Facebook that told me that I could download all of my lives from my newer page all at once. And so I clicked that like 2 days ago, and it's still downloading. So I don't even know if I have enough room on my computer. I just don't know. What I do know is I'm not going to make myself nuts about it. Streaming software to publish to both, but again, they're very different people. Yes, I used to have a StreamYard, Molly, and I don't know if you remember this, but a little while ago, Facebook said, oh, we're not going to allow you to use a second-party streaming service to stream into groups. So I thought, well, there's no point in keeping StreamYard, so I let it go. So I don't have StreamYard anymore. I really did like it. It was very nice. The quality was beautiful. But, you know, if I couldn't use it to stream into my private groups, what was the point? Well, not private groups, private classes. Private groups is a different thing. I don't have a private group. So I'm just cutting these out so they're backed on the back and they're not just white and look pretty. And it kind of, I think it kind of matches the inside of the, well, all the papers are from the same, yeah, from the same collection. So it'll match and it'll look nice. I did like my StreamYard because it gave me a pretty pink banner, or actually it was lavender, all the way around my picture, and the quality was better, and then it had my business name, you know, on there, and it looked very professional. But for $200 a year, and if I couldn't use it to stream into my private classes, then it became obsolete for me. And I don't even know if they did that. You know, I don't even know if they made it where you couldn't stream into your private groups with that. I don't even know. Sometimes Facebook says they're going to do something and they don't. So there's always that. All right, so we've got these are all backed nice now with a pretty paper. And hi, Leah. Yes, this is a digital junk journal download, and I've already put the link in the comments. So the links are there in the comments. I think. I thought I put them in there. Somebody tell me if they can see the link for the printable collection. I'm sure I put it in there. I'll go back up and look. Yeah, there it is. It's right there. Okay. Yeah, so just scroll up, Leah, and you'll see a link. Yeah, I'm not getting my panties in a bunch about that, you guys. It is what it is. I'm not worrying about it. I'm just going to round these corners with my corner rounder on the ones that need it. yeah, so, it was fun while I did the live, and if I never see it again, I'm okay with that. It's just not the big deal to me. Like I said, I saved the classes. Any paid classes I've saved so I can download those again. And yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let's edge these. Oh, okay, Leah. Good. You found it. Yeah, here's my goal. My goal is to do my Tag Along Tuesday every week, and then I want to do a different day where I use the printables, because you know how I love paper. I love paper. I'd really rather play with paper than paint. Um, so I want to dedicate one day a week to just working with paper. There's so many things you can do with paper. I used to have a scrapbook business back in the day. Remember when scrapbooks were a big thing? It was called the Paper Rooster. I love roosters. And I still love paper. Oh, Molly, thank you very much, doll. Have a good live, sweetheart. I'm also going to use, my favorite stamp, which is, I forgot one. Hold on. Which is, the little quarter of the distressed from Vintage Textures. We'll do that all over the back of this. Or all over the back of these, I should say. Yeah, so I thought being later in the day would be better viewership wise, but of course it was a surprise. I get that, but and then too, you never know who else is live. There's so many people that are so watchable, and you don't know when everybody's gonna go live. So people are watching other people, and it just is what it is. So I'm just gonna kind of put this all over the back of these. It just gives a bit of texture, and let's see, so this one is it's okay, but after I do this, it's going to be better. Stamp's very, very forgiving. Do you see how it puts texture? I love this stamp. As you can tell, I use it for everything. It's very, very well used and very loved. Okay, so now we've got our tags all squared away. It doesn't look like I've done this one, so let's do that. So this was here's my plan. The wind's blowing like crazy, and it's taking the door. My studio is out in my garage, and it's taking the door and making it like, can you guys hear it? It's making it kind of squeak, and yeah. You've never done a junk journal, but I've been itching to get my feet wet. You're fab with paper. Wow, with everything. Thank you, Leah. Really? You've never done a junk journal? When I'm done here, I'm gonna link part 1 and 2 in the comments here, and you can get the kit and you can follow right along. And this is easy because it's just one page. This one, the course that I did with Denise, this is 12 months. This is huge. It's a tremendous amount of work. I have probably 60 or 70 hours invested in this. So that's it's a horse of a different color. But I like to do simple things too. I like to do something and get it done. You hear something, Shannon? Yeah, it's my garage door. Okay, so here was my plan. Here's my little covered paper clip. We did that in another live. Let's get this up where you can see it. My plan is to use my countryside memoirs to do some stamping. Shannon, you've never done one either? That really surprises me. I'm very surprised to hear that. So I'm kind of in love with this one right here. Like I showed you in that big journal, you know, you can take this and tape off the edges and just make it straight. So I think I'm going to use that right there. I don't even think I'm going to have to tape it off. I'm going to take it off of the backing and I'm going to put it on a thin mount like this, just like this, okay? And I can see that I could take it and come up from the bottom. Look what it'll come and do, just like this. It'll go right around the edge of that little piece of paper, which would be lovely. But what I want to do is I want to tuck something back in here so the ink doesn't get here, because I don't want it there. So I'm going to put a little piece of something, paper, I don't know, something. Maybe a piece of paper towel or just another piece of paper. Here, I've got some paper here. So I'm just going to take this and rip it kind of to fit, and I'm going to tuck it in here. This is my little envelope part, so the ink can't get up here. I don't want the ink up there, okay? And then I'm going to ink this, and then I'll be able to go like this. Oh, it fits perfectly. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I have my black iron orchid ink, which is you went back to work, Leah, huh? Your husband's not well. I'm sorry to hear that. So I'm going to just ink this up with, don't work over your project like I'm doing. It's a really, really bad idea. Really bad idea. It's very easy to get ink on something when you don't mean to. So don't do what I just did. But I'm limited on space, so. All right, so this is going to go this way. I'm just going to put it down like this. Where's my little pressure tool? Right here. This is a pressure tool. It's like a little hockey puck thing, and it's felt on the bottom, and you get fabulous, fabulous impressions with this because it puts even pressure over the whole stamp. Oh, that's so pretty. Just beautiful. Okay, so see, I put that there because see what happens there. But now when I take that out, I don't have it there. I have it just down here where I want it, which is really, really pretty. I like that a lot. And I'm thinking we can find something really pretty to put right in there too, because there's all these little, maybe like a little bow or something, or a little, what about a butterfly? We got a beautiful butterfly. Hi, Oliver. Oliver's afraid of the wind, you guys. You okay, buddy? He doesn't like the wind. It scares him. He kills me. That's a pretty little, yeah, it doesn't quite fit. There's so many different little pieces to this, which is what I love about it for journaling. What do we got here? That's a nice little flowery bit. Kind of partial to the idea of a butterfly. Let's put that butterfly right there. Hi, sweetheart. What you doing? Why don't you go lay down? I'm going to be a few minutes, so you might as well go lay down, sweetie. What did I do with that? Here it is. So we'll just put the butterfly on there and we'll ink that up. Ideally, I don't want to ink on top of my project. Just asking for trouble. know, but I'm not stopping right now. He's clawing at my chair wanting me to stop. I'm not stopping right now, Oliver. Is it? Oh yeah, you know what? At about 2 o'clock he usually gets like a little bite to eat. They're like little alarm clocks, aren't they? They know exactly when the food's supposed to come. There. Isn't that pretty? Yes, I just love this stamp. It's just so good. All right, now, because we already have the little, I think we'll put that one and that one. We'll put these two. I have an envelope that I want to put over here. I just practiced stamping on a piece of material because we did the binding, so I definitely want to incorporate that into the, whoops, we are way too close, into the project somewhere. I don't know where yet though. And I don't know that we're going to have room for that, but I have an idea for this here. So this is just, again, like I said, this is a simple project, okay? This is fairly simple. So I've got all of these tags here that I can just kind of tuck in like this, and then these are a little bit taller, and you can just kind of tuck that in like that. And that's, boom, done. I've got this big envelope that is quite bulky. I think I can probably put it right back here. It doesn't really have anything in it. Let's see if I left it open, because it's pretty, because it's got the rows. I printed on both sides of that. Yeah. Okay, good. So look, so that side's done. This side, I've got this pretty envelope. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some crinkle ribbon across the front. Where's my glue? Here it is. I'm going to put some crinkle ribbon across the front. Like right about there. Let's put in a little line of Fabri-Tac. And then I'm just going to lay this like this. Oliver, I'm not getting up right now with Dolly. I'm sorry. You can scratch my chair all you want to. I'm busy. I'm busy, buddy. Mama's working. So get up and feed me, wench. You have to wait a minute, buddy. He's probably thinking, who's she talking to? And then I tied a little bow, and I'm going to put the bow right there. I think this has to go up a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I'm going to attach this with a little bit of hot glue. It'll go faster. The Fabri-Tac's good, but this will grab right away. So now we've got a pretty little bow right on the front of our envelope. Isn't that cute? I'm going to cut the ends off. Snip and snip. So that's adorable. Now there's no pocket here. This is just a straight piece of paper, and all this lace and everything is part of the printable. This, I think, goes here. It's a little paper clip. We'll put that over there. Covered paper clip. And then I think my idea was to put a pretty little, I've got a lot of cards over here, so I think I can take one and kind of steal a little. So we'll do that, and we'll do that here. I like that. I'm going to glue this down, but I'm not going to glue this top part because I want to tuck I'll tuck it this way. I want to tuck this letter back in here, okay? So the envelope actually becomes kind of like a pocket, okay? So I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to put glue like right here and right here, and then all down like that. It's a shame to oh, you are Regine, have you started yours? Or are you waiting to see all the parts? Okay, so I've got my glue. Fabri-Tac gives you a little bit of wiggle room. You can kind of slide things around a little bit if you need to, so that's a good thing. These look too much alike. What's the back of this look like? Let's do that. That's better, isn't it? And I might even cut them down a little bit so the top of that shows, and then this is going to go back in here like this. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut these down just a bit so they tuck back in a little bit better. I'll take off maybe about that much. And then I'll just re-ink and do the corner punch on them as well. There's that corner punch. I still have not decided what I'm going to put on that front yet. I might dig out the insignia stamp and stamp journal on the front. Just haven't decided yet. So that goes there. Perfect. It is adorable, isn't it, Donna? How are you, Donna? Donna's my neighbor, you guys. Donna, I bet you live, if you live 10 minutes from me, I'd be surprised. Because you're in Sun City, right? Sun City, Summerlin, and I'm in Summerlin proper, so we are very, very close to each other. Okay. So now we've got, see, they come down a little bit more, and you can see a little bit more of the pretty envelope, which I like. And then this pretty, just postcard kind of thing. I mean, you could definitely do some stamping on the backs of all of these if you wanted to. Let's find something pretty to stamp on the back of that, because there's so many things that we can use. Is that? No. One of my favorites is this bow. I love this bow, but it's too big. Let's see what else we got. This is the one that we used on the front of our journal. Isn't that beautiful? And then we put the bird in the middle. We masked. I think that's in part 2, isn't it, you guys? Like I said, I'll link everything. All right, Regine. We'll see you later, hon. If you have any questions, you know, honey, I am just a message away. What am I going to put there? I really like these reeds, but it's not quite. I'm indecisive, you guys. You guys, on Tuesday, we're going to use a paint inlay, and I'm very excited about it. Let's put that right there. It's just a little cluster of flowers. perfect little place for that. Look how pretty. Perfect. I feel like we need something up there. And don't be afraid to use like just parts of something too. Like I used, I used just part of this and just went, in fact, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to go just across the top of that with this big. It's I think intended to be a frame, but you can just use parts of it. Like I just need to go across that area there, so I'll just ink up that much. I don't have to block anything off. Just like that. Try not to, I'm very heavy-handed with my ink pad. I don't know why. I always think there's not enough ink on there. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. Let's move this out of the way. And I'm just going to ink right across that kind of white part. Not white, but light. It's a lighter part. Look, so pretty. I feel like we could have. No worries. There's a teeny tiny bit. Well, it's not teeny tiny. It's pretty small. Let's put that butterfly there and fill in that space. I love this stamp. Countryside Memoirs. And I knew when I saw it, I said, oh, I'm going to love that because I do a lot of journaling. So he's probably going to go a little bit off of the page, but that's okay. Very pretty. Okay, and you could do that to the backs of all of your tags if you wanted to. Depends on how much time you want to invest. Let's see. Okay, very happy with this situation here. We'll put it this way so the little rose shows. So that goes there. Where's my little, really got to find a way to make him part of things. How am I going to put him on here? My dog's staring at me. I don't know how I'm going to put him on there just yet. But anyway, the inside of that is done. Isn't it charming? Cute as it could be. Now, you could go nuts. You could like dig out all your bows and put a bow at the top of each one of your tags if you wanted to. You could do that. I'm not going to do that because I want to keep it simple. It's kind of a simple thing, so I want to keep it simple. Where am I going to put this is the big question. So I'm definitely not wasting that. So we've got the front here, and I've got this. Of course, that doesn't necessarily have to be there. So if I put this little paper clip up there, we can put a word in there. I'm going to get out my insignia stamps. I don't know how they're sized. I don't know if they're the right size or not. I haven't played with this stamp as much, but oh look, there's some beautiful frames that are slim. Those would fit really good on the back of your no, those are too big. On the back of all your tags, because look, see how they're slimmer? Yeah, those will fit on the back of the tags really well. So that's not going to work. I'm going to find something. I probably have something like a little piece of something that says journal in all my little things that I have. And I think what I'll do, well, There's two birds there though. Do we really need two birds on our cover? I don't think so. And then the back is amazing. Look at the back, isn't that pretty? And like I said, this is fabric. So, what to do? Let's look through this little binder of goodies. See if there's something that strikes us that we could put on the front of that. So just a folder of papers, and oh, look how pretty that is. I don't really want to use something that is not part of the kit, but I kind of think I have to. Look at that paper. Look, this is what I was thinking of. I know there's one that looks like this that says journal. Or maybe we could just put this creepy lady on the front. No, she's creepy. She's not. I have these little boxes, little paper boxes that we make, and they hold all your little goods. So maybe we'll do something like, I know somewhere I have a perfect thing that says journal, but I'm really partial to numbers right now as well. So maybe I put a number right there, and maybe I just trim it. Well, again, I don't want to have two birds on the front. I think that's kind of redundant and it doesn't thrill me. Let's see what's in here. That might be nice just to put I like a raffia bow. I think, what do you call that? Crinkle ribbon would be a better bow. I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll just do a number, and there are number printables that you can get from Denise, or you can probably even just look online and type in like numbers to print. You could probably do that. You know, you just never know what's going to work until you get it out and you're like, there it is, there's the perfect thing. So I'm looking through my little box of pretties. This is pretty. We like that a lot. That mirrors the roses that are on the, we could have the number come off like that. That looks really pretty. That's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Here's the thing I was thinking of, this. But look how white it is. Yeah, that's not gonna work for me. Way too white. Here's a nice little piece of, I do like this though. I like the raffia just for the, you know, it's kind of rough compared to everything's so soft and pretty. It's just kind of a different texture. What if we did something like that? I kind of like that. Let's tie a proper bow and see what happens. Maybe we'll prefer the bow, because we have this inside, so. This is very, very crinkly. I'm gonna have to, yeah, that's the right thing to do, isn't it? It really is. But I'm gonna untie it because it's super crinkly. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my mister and I'm gonna give it just a fine little mist. And oh, my fingers are too dirty to touch it. And I'm gonna kind of, if you get it wet, you're not gonna get all the crinkle out of it, but look, a lot of the crinkle came out. Now I can make a bow that is not quite so crazy. Still haven't figured out what I'm gonna do with this. It's definitely going someplace in here. Definitely going someplace. I feel like, here's what I'm gonna take. I buy these little they're not brass, they're rose gold clips. I'm going to cut the bottom of that off. I'm going to fray this piece all up, and I'm just going to clip it on there. That's exactly what I'm going to do because I like that kind of rough look. So I'm just going to cut this part off. I'm going to cut this down a little bit. And then I'm going to pull the threads and fray my edges. See how that edge is nice and frayed? I want all of the edges to kind of look like that. So I'm just going to pull threads and then come back across it with my fingers and rough it up. If I had a stapler out here, I could staple it on. That would look cool too. Staples look really cool on your journal. All right, I like it. I like it. Now I'm just going to take this and I'm going to paper clip it with my rose gold paper clip. Just like that. That's what it's going to be. And then it can kind of, don't like that either. Maybe he's not going to be able to, maybe he's not going to be able to be a part of this, which makes me really sad because I really like him. Let's finish the front. I'll think about that some more. I like this with this. I want to tone this down though because it's really, really pink. So let's get some of our, hi Miriam, how are you, doll? Let's get some of this out and do this. Tone this right down. There, see how it's already toned down? It's not quite so white. That's better. And then of course we need to hit the edges of this guy. And then I usually take something that's long like this and I'll fold it like in a couple of places like this, and where it's folded I'll give it some ink like that, and then I'll straighten it out again and it just gives it some character. Doesn't look quite so new. See that? Yeah, that looks very good. Maybe bend that little corner right there. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. We're going to put that right there like that. I think we're going to put a little bow off to the side. I've straightened this out a bit, so I think I can get a bow that looks like a bow and not just a bunch of crinkled up ribbon, I think. Oliver, you know that drives me crazy. Please stop it. He's sitting at the end of my desk just running his nails along the edge of my desk. So I get up and feed him. Am I on the right track here? I'm going to put a bow to the side. I am on the right track. I have a silent auction up right now, you guys. I think it goes till Monday. Tomorrow's Monday, right? Is today Sunday? I think it is. I think it ends tomorrow at like, I don't know, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock everybody else's time, 4 o'clock my time. Don't want a big bow. That's a this off. That's what I'm thinking. Or we could do this and put the bow at the bottom of the flowers. So many options. Lots of options. Here's another little, that's covered on both sides. You could like tuck it under your paper clip on the front of the journal, or you could tuck it, I think I'll tuck it right here. That's where I'm going to tuck it. What am I going to do with my little bird? Maybe, look, I'm going to fold part of him over like that and just do it like that. I like that. And I might cut that part off. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Okay. And then you got a little piece of fabric with a, yeah, yep. Not even going to think about it again. Yep. There we go. Good. I wanted him to be part of the mix. All right. All we have to do is put the front together, and then we are done. And maybe you guys make decisions quicker than I do, and you'd finish this sooner than I'm able to, but you know, I agonize over every little silly thing. There may be the bow on the bottom of the numbers, don't you think? Looks pretty, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going for it. I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to put it down with hot glue. Just like that. And you don't have to go from edge to edge when you're using hot glue. I'm going to tuck that right in there. And then I'm going to put the bow right there. It's another reason not to use hot glue. I don't like where this is. Wasn't over far enough. That's better. Okay. I got a little rip on my paper, but I'm going to cover it anyway, so. Oh, well, thank you, Shannon. That's a nice thing to say. And then this guy here. Yeah, he wasn't over far enough last time. Right? And then a little pretty bow right down there. I think it's just the ticket. Is it crooked? Nope, it's not crooked. Okay, I'm going to put a little dot of glue on the back here. I'll hold that there for just a second. And then I'm going to pull these tails and I call them rabbit ears, pull the rabbit ears down a little bit so they don't cover the numbers so much. There it is. Finished. Look how pretty that is. Very pretty. And you could take your clip and you could put it anywhere. It kind of looks really nice here too, where it's halfway on the halfway on your fabric binding and halfway like that. That was so pretty. And then as we open up, let's get all this junk out of the way. We'll do a last little look through, okay? Because we are finished. Oh, man down. I'll turn this over so it's clean. And here's our pretty little journal. looks so sweet. That's so, so sweet. Okay, so when we open, it's just a little, like a book almost, like a small little book, okay? We've got all these pretty tags that are finished on the back. This is an actual envelope, so you could tuck something in there if you had something. I'm just using it kind of for filler. I love that bird. Let me just tuck right back in here like this. Bring her out a little bit. We'll make the paper clip go over that. There. And then on this side you've got a little envelope, and we tied the little bow around it, and it's got 3 little tags in it that are finished on the back. And again, you could put bows on the tops, you could stamp the back of everything if you wanted to. We stamped the back of something, I don't know. I don't remember which one it was. We used our country memoirs. I think it might be this one. Yeah, we stamped the back of that with our country memoirs, and that tucks right into the envelope. We kind of made the envelope a tuck spot, okay? And so there's that, and then there's the back. You've got your fabric binding and a little bit of fabric here from our bird, and there it is, charming as can be. There it is. Hi, Cheryl. You're just in time. I'm done. I'll put some pictures up for reference in case anybody wants to give it a go. And I put a link where you can get the Heritage Signature Printables from Denise over at the Crafty DIYer. If you wouldn't mind using my link that's in the comments, I would appreciate that. It gives me a couple of pennies towards my obsession. And I will see you guys on Tuesday, and we're going to be using a paint inlay. Okay, we're going to use the new Spring Melody paint inlay, and I'm very excited about that. All right, thanks for being here. I will see everyone on Tuesday. Bye.